What's up guys, Xuses here, back with another survival mode guide because I read the comments on my last video and people wanted more tips and tricks than just health management. So I'm going to try my best to help you guys unlock those additional colours that everyone wants. Unfortunately, I'm not able to post a full video of me completing stages 1 to 50, and if you would like to know why, then please read the description box below. For this video, I'll be using hard mode again because that's the mode most people are having problems with. I know some of you are having difficulties with normal mode, so keep persevering and take everything I explained in this video and just apply that to normal mode. So as I explained in my last video, health management is super important. I didn't really go into too much detail as to why, so let me quickly take the time to explain. The first 10 stages are easy as hell. The CPU is basically just standing there, so you should take advantage of this and double down as much as possible because you'll be doing a lot of spending in the later rounds and you want to make sure you don't run out of score. So select whatever double down options appear apart from the fifth one. Another thing you'll want to do is maximize your score every round by making sure you get the first hit, stun your opponent, try to get a perfect and end the round with an EX move. Don't worry if you don't get perfects and critical art finishes, because as long as you get that first hit, a stun and an EX finish, you'll have enough score to carry you through the 50 stages. You want to do all of this whilst trying to take as little damage as possible, and here comes one of the key strategies to beating survival mode. If you manage to keep your health at a fairly high amount, you can now spend your score on either attack or defense. Me personally, I double down the first 10 stages and then I keep purchasing attack bonuses just to speed up the process because I find the first 30 stages extremely easy. If I take too much damage, I stock up on my health and then the following round I try a little harder to take as little damage as possible so I can go back to purchasing the attack bonuses. It also has the added benefit of stunning your opponent a lot faster, so that helps too. After stage 30, I tend to focus more on the defense bonus because the difficulty increases and I have damaging enough combos so I don't have to worry about doing enough damage. But eventually you'll have a bad round where your health will drop to 20 or 25% and you'll hope for a medium high or full recovery, but the game will give you a low. And sometimes it will even give you a low several times in a row. So if you find yourself in this situation too often, then you should consider purchasing the defense bonus a little earlier. I know some of you are having difficulties in the 20s, so perhaps you should consider switching over to the defense bonuses as soon as you hit stage 20. And this brings me to my next point, which is making smart decisions. Survival mode is a lot about making smart purchases. For example, if you're on stage 31 and you have 80% health with the option to purchase either low HP, defense 3 or attack 2, you should probably be spending your score on defense. Defense 3 will give you an extra 60% damage reduction, and that will help to maintain your health a lot more than having that extra 25% health back. Here's another example. If you're on stage 40 and your health is 50% with the option to buy medium HP, defense 3 and attack 3, then you'll obviously want to buy the health supplement because it will put you closer to full and you can then try harder to have a better round so you can go back to buying defense. Alright, let's move on to some actual tips to beating the CPU now. First and foremost, go into training mode and make sure you have your most damaging combo and most damaging cross-up combo 100% down. You might not get many opportunities to land it in the final stages, so you want to make sure you don't choke when it truly matters. The next thing you want to do is push the CPU into a corner. There are many ways to do this, but I prefer to just combo them into the corner. You can try throwing, but I wouldn't recommend this for the later stages because the computer loves to mash buttons once you reach stage 30. Don't forget to dash forward when the CPU is knocked down to help you push it into the corner. One of the keys to beating normal and hard mode is to cross up all day every day. The CPU is susceptible to cross attacks, and as you see in the video, that's pretty much all I do throughout the entire round. Try to get the timing down so when the CPU is about to get up, you are already jumping and ready to attack because this will net you the best possible chance of landing it. This is hands down the best way to deal the most amount of damage and give you the best possible chance of beating this mode. And this leads me on to tip number 2. You have to keep the pressure on throughout the round. Don't mess around with footsies or trying to play a mid-range or long-range game because you'll be giving the CPU opportunities, and trust me, this is something you don't want in the later stages. From my own experience, I've realized that even the most aggressive stages such as Bison on 33 can be nullified if you keep the pressure on and don't let him get his shots off. Another piece of advice I would give you guys is to look for opportunities. For example, if you're ever knocked down and the CPU is walking towards you, that's a free DP punish. That's a 10 out of 10 guaranteed free punish. I've never missed a wake up DP whenever I see this. Once you land this, go back to the cross up game and keep the pressure on. Tip number 4. utilize your invincible attacks. Okay, so as you're pressuring the CPU, he may end up blocking everything and that will leave you open to a counter attack. This is where you spam that invincible attack to keep you safe. For Ken, that would be the medium DP. This is really important for resetting the situation and preventing any unnecessary damage from the CPU. Tip number 5 would be to save your EX gauge for combos, desperate situations, and for finishing the round. Don't just throw out random EX fireballs from half screen hoping that it will land. As explained earlier, you'll want to make sure you have enough score to purchase all these supplements, and if you're someone who's having a tough time, it'll most likely be spent on high or full recoveries, and this can quickly add up. So save that EX fireball for the end of the round. Tip number 6 would be to space out your block string. The CPU isn't that smart and will not punish you as a real player would. So if you find the CPU blocking too much, put a little delay on your buttons and you may catch it pressing something. It doesn't have to be a true block string either. Something like 2 crouching medium punches seem to work well for me. One of the best pieces of advice I can give you is not to let the CPU go ham on you. Once you reach stage 30, you'll notice the CPU gets smarter and starts doing much more damaging combos if you let it. You need to get up and put the pressure back on it, otherwise you'll find yourself with little to no chance of progressing if you allow yourself to be pressured. Oh, and I forgot to mention that the CPU is a sucker for the overhead, so if it has low HP and you manage to knock it down, try to finish the round with an overhead. Only if you have enough score and you don't have to worry about ending rounds with EX moves, that is. There's a couple of other quick points I want to mention. Stage 33 Bison and Stage 35 Ken can be extremely aggressive, so make sure your combos are on point. Stage 41 Ryu blocks a lot and even parries some attacks, so be careful. Any Chun-Li past stage 30 also has an annoying habit of anti-air kicking you, so when you knock her down, make sure you cross her up as early as possible to prevent her from doing so. Stage 42 Laura is my worst nightmare. She will anti-air grab any attempt to jump in on her, so that's a big no-no. Spamming invincible attacks on her is one possible strategy of beating her. And I think that's all I have for you guys. I hope this time I provided some useful information and made the suffering a little easier. Let me know how you're doing with the survival mode, because as you can tell from this video, I actually read YouTube comments. Anyway, if you found the video helpful, then don't forget to like my shit, and I'll see you guys in my next video.
Not bad. That's what I was looking for.